Sure.
Yeah, I know. I have a tendency to like, as time goes on, I start to slap more, you know?
It probably gets worse the more you drink too. Okay.
Thank you for drinking, by the way. I feel like I'm drinking.
Oh, no. It's okay. He's like chugging it.
With your chocolate jacket on.
Chocolate jacket.
Come on. So today we are drinking wine from Santo Tomas. I think we may have actually drank this wine before during our interviews, but it's a Tempranillo Cabernet blend, and we buy a lot because we like it. So.
And this winery is actually from Valle de Guadalupe in Mexico. Alright, so today we are interviewing James. James is a fellow YouTuber, and that's pretty much how we met. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, where do you live and what do you do for a living?
Okay, so that's a loaded question. I live in Long Beach, California, and what do I do for a living? So it's kind of a long story. I used to be a private investigator, and about, I guess last summer, I got fired, and then I decided that I didn't want to work for anybody anymore. So now I guess I'm on the road to the digital nomad kind of status.
Oh, nice.
So I'm trying to do that.
Okay.
And I'm doing a lot of freelance graphic design and videography.
Okay.
I don't want to say I'm full-time yet, but
Okay.
I'm getting sponsored projects here and there,
Nice.
and photography projects and things like that I can do
Okay.
remotely or online or while I travel or whatever. So,
Okay.
so that's the main goal. I don't really want to say that I'm a digital nomad yet, although that's what I have on my social medias.
Okay.
But,
You're part-time.
that's-
You
Yeah.
don't want nomad.
Part-time digital nomad. So
Awesome.
that's the ultimate goal.
Okay.
Okay.
So is that like your field, like designing and photography
So
then?
I studied graphic design, and after I graduated with that, I just kind of, I went on Indeed.com, and there was like jobs, and I was like, I'm gonna apply to every job. It doesn't matter what it is. And this private investigation firm hired me, so I was like, okay,
Yeah. Okay.
Nothing to do with graphic design, huh?
Yeah. I went to school in Santa Cruz. I went to UC Santa Cruz,
Okay.
and I graduated in 2006. So after 2006, I got a job in Costa Rica.
Oh. Okay.
That like immediately, like that summer. So I lived there for the summer, and I graduated with a degree in psychology, and I worked for the orphanages and foster care system, and I started implementing these programs for them to become more socialized and
Okay.
be better in social settings and things like that. So then after a few months, I moved back to LA,
Okay.
and then a year later, I saved some money and then went backpacking again.
Okay.
That's for the summer.
Okay.
But initially it was 2006, Costa Rica. Like that's kind of what started it all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you originally from LA then?
Born and raised.
Born and
yeah.
raised. Awesome. Very cool. All right.
And so far, do you know around about how many countries you've been to?
I've never counted. I mean, I have a globe that I stick a pin in every time I go to a new place, but I've never actually counted.
You go to just kind of guess.
I don't know. I want to say 18, but I mean, I could be way off.
Yeah. Yeah. Out of all your travels, like what's been your favorite place so far, in either country or city?
Okay, so I actually have a top 5.
Ooh, that's a list.
And it's changed a little bit over time. So my number 1 place is Barcelona, and then it used to be New York City, but that got knocked down to number 3. So now it's Barcelona, and then it's Berlin, then it's New York City, then it's Honolulu.
Okay.
And then it's Montreal.
Okay. Oh wow.
And then it's Hong Kong. I guess that's number 6 now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a place that you haven't been to yet, but you're really dying to go?
That's a good question. I used to really want to go to Machu Picchu, and I haven't been there yet, but I just kind of forgot about it, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, as I keep going, I forget about certain destinations, and I just keep going to wherever it is that I'm going, you know? I don't think right now there's a particular place where I want to go to. I just want to go everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
everywhere.
Okay. All right. That's a good spot. When did you start YouTubing? Like, when did you?
Okay, so let me see. I want to say it was 2013. So I've been traveling since 2006, but to be completely honest, I didn't know anything about YouTube until 2013.
Okay.
Well, let me see. There's a little bit of backstory. My partner, he is really into travel bloggers. So he kind of introduced me to the concept of travel blogging and things like that. He's like diligent. Like he reads his favorite travel blogs every single day, and he knows what they're doing at all times of the day. He's like, oh, you know what's going on here. And
oh my god. Yeah. Okay, so when you say he's into it, you don't mean he writes.
No,
he's not a blogger. He just reads.
He just reads them.
Got it.
Every once in a while, he would consider making a few blog posts or whatever, but he feels like it's saturated. He's like, so no one cares about my opinion because there's already 500 billion opinions. So he doesn't actually do it himself.
Okay.
But so he introduced me to the world of travel blogging, and he showed me one of his travel bloggers had a video of just like a slideshow of the pictures that he had on YouTube, and I thought it was like super cool, even though it was just still pictures. I was like, well, maybe I should start actually filming this and doing it. So I think we were going to a couple places, and then we hit Hong Kong, and that was the first place that I actually recorded.
Okay.
Excuse me. But
okay.
Yeah. 2013 or something like that. Yeah.
So about 4 years or so. Okay. And so now when you travel, you always make sure
I always do it.
You always
do it.
Yeah. Have you ever traveled somewhere, you record it, and then say, you know what, this is not good enough, or it's not worthy of putting it on YouTube? I'm like, whatever. I'm not gonna put that there.
Sometimes I go to places and I'm like, there's a building,
right?
There's a tree,
You're like, this is boring.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of videos, and you can tell in my videos. I'll still post them, but you can tell that you're like, oh, he didn't do anything.
Yeah. Right. So are you active on, besides YouTube, what other social networks do you promote your travels?
I'm big on Instagram. I love Instagram.
Okay.
I take a lot of pictures. I bought a DSLR camera, I don't know, a year and a half ago now.
Okay.
And so I use it to take pictures of wherever I am and to record it. And so I do all of my pictures that I put on Instagram are
from DSLR. Oh, okay. Wow.
So
you don't feel like that's like a little bit of a hassle because you have to take it out. You have to
you know what?
Upload it. And...
I hate my phone now.
Really?
I love my DSLR. Like I never want to see my iPhone again.
You're like, oh.
But no, I like my camera a lot.
Okay.
There's Instagram. I have a Facebook page that I use on a regular basis.
Okay.
I have Twitter and Snapchat and all that stuff, but I don't use those two very much or even at all. I recently, as in like the last 3 months, I started a travel blog, just because there's a lot of people that like to talk about what to do when they travel, and I don't want to do that. I don't feel like that's me.
Okay.
So, but people, when they search for videos on YouTube, that's what they want to see. So I just want to make sure I have that, but not on my video. So I make a blog for that.
Got it. Okay. So. Cool. That's good. Have a little bit of variety.
Yeah.
So when you're traveling around, what do you, luggage-wise, what do you bring with you? Do you cram all your gear and clothes, everything into one backpack?
I try a backpack. Yeah. It's kind of the size of a gym duffel bag.
Okay.
So it's I don't know about this big. It depends how long I'm going for. If I'm going for a few days, I do cram everything in there. But if I'm going for, I don't know, let's say 2 weeks or more, then I'll take a little camera bag where I can put my tripod and my camera and all that stuff.
Okay.
So what's your gear look like? What do you travel with?
So I travel with a tripod that folds up to about this big. My DSLR, my laptop, all my chargers, my cords and stuff like that, and I have a Rode mic as well.
And a what?
A Rode mic.
Okay.
Yeah, so that hooks up to the top of the camera, and I think sometimes a selfie stick.
Okay.
Sometimes a GoPro if I'm gonna be in a place that has a lot of water. But
So when you're traveling with your tripod, have you run into, because since you do more carry-on, have you had any issues with that? Like bringing a tripod to the plane?
Not to the plane, but they sometimes check my bag twice, or they hold me because they want to know what it is.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know if it's because it's like, you know, black metal or whatever.
Yeah.
They're always like, you know, could you step to the side, sir? Okay.
What is this weapon you're bringing?
Yeah.
We actually had a friend that happened to him, right?
Yeah, in the Tijuana airport, where he came with us to Guanajuato, and he got hassled about his
tripod.
His tripod. He had to check it. He couldn't bring it on the plane.
Really?
Yeah, isn't that weird?
That is
crazy.
weird.
It was actually this one, right? Was it this one?
Yeah.
It was like a
no one
folding
can
one?
see it but us, but yeah.
Oh, sorry.
It's like a folding carbon fiber tripod.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Brazil, they checked my bag in Brazil and then Montreal.
Okay.
They checked it twice. Okay. So that's the only time I've had. It wasn't even an issue. They just wanted to know what it was.
Yeah. So when you travel, do you normally travel by yourself, or do you travel with your partner, or?
It's 50-50. So I travel with him a lot. Yeah, it's about 50-50. The issue is he travels a lot too.
Okay.
But he has a completely different travel style than I have. So he's really into the luxury aspect of traveling.
Okay.
He loves 5-star hotels and like expensive meals and like beautiful restaurants and chandeliers and I don't know what. And that's all great. I'm not going to complain about it. Because it's, it's good food. It's good, housing. It's all that stuff's great.
It's a good experience too.
Yeah, but I'm more into like the budget travel, like hostels and backpacking. And, like, all the stuff that he doesn't want to do. So, so we compromise whenever we go together. He picks the hotel, and then I'm like, okay, I'm coming back, and I'll stay in a hostel, and I'll get that experience out of my way. Whatever.
Have you ever got him to stay in a hostel?
Oh no.
No, really?
And he would never do it.
Wow.
I think. Besides the comfort, I mean, they can be pretty comfortable. I think it's just more fun because it's so much more social.
Yeah, and that's what I like. But he doesn't care. He's like, I'm already here with somebody. Why do I need to speak to anybody else?
Okay.
That's true. Not everyone travels like the way we do, I guess.
I mean, we have a good time, but we have different styles.
Okay.
Different styles, Okay. So whenever you see in my video that I'm staying in like a fancy hotel, that's because
I was just gonna say,
so,
now I know. Okay. Yeah, and actually, I actually watch a lot of your videos. He's never on.
He hates the camera. He hates having pictures taken of him.
Okay.
But you'll see him. He's the one with the red and black umbrella. Sometimes he's in the background and there's a guy with a red and black umbrella.
Okay.
That's him.
So he might make a cameo every now and then with a red and black umbrella. That's funny. Yeah, because when I watch your videos, I always think, oh, he's traveling by himself, blah, blah, whatever. And then you start talking to someone, or like he's laughing about your umbrella. So I was like, oh, okay, wait, there's someone there. I was like, okay, I got it. So, okay.
Yeah, so when I'm talking to somebody, it's usually him.
Yeah.
He's the one that recorded my umbrella fiasco.
Yeah, that was so funny.
Has there been any places you really look forward to going, but then when you got there, it was kind of like a letdown?
Yes and no. So there was one place that I hated. I hated it so much. I told myself I would never go back. But I did anyway. So it was Paris. I hated Paris so much.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Why?
And don't get me wrong, it was like beautiful and all that, but when I went there, this was the first time I went there. It was in 2007. Yeah, 2007. I went backpacking, and it was probably the second place I hit was Paris. And I just had a really bad time. I felt like, so I'm ethnically I'm Latino, you know, and they were just like super racist, and I felt like it didn't matter who I was asking questions or permission or whatever. They were just like, get out of my face. And
really,
literally they would tell me that.
Oh wow.
And before I went, I did a lot of research, and they were like, oh my god, Parisians love it when you like learn the language and learn part of the language, and if you're really polite, don't act like a stupid American or whatever. So I did all of that, and it didn't matter. Like, it didn't matter. The only people that were nice to me were the ones that were like, oh, are you Spanish? And I was like, oh, yeah. And they were like, oh, how great. And I was like, oh my god.
What did they think you were?
I think they thought I was Middle Eastern.
Okay.
Yeah. But
I can see that.
They didn't say that. I'm just assuming, you know?
Okay. I kind of see that. Oh my gosh.
But then I went back recently. I think it was I went back for New Year's this past.
Oh yeah.
And my my boyfriend is French Canadian.
Okay.
Well, born in Montreal but raised in New York City. So he speaks French fluently, and so I went with him, and it was a completely different experience.
Well, yeah.
And I was ready. I was like, I'm not gonna talk to these motherfuckers.
Wow.
But I had such a good time, and I don't know if it was because I was with somebody or what, you know. So
probably. I don't know.
Wow. So this time around, I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
But the first time, I was really disappointed.
Okay. Would you ever go back again by yourself?
I don't think I would go back by myself. No. Just because of the experience. Yeah. And the funny thing was I accidentally ran into somebody that I knew, who is also Latino, and we started, just talking about our experience, and he's like, "Oh my God, I hate it here so much." And I'm like, "Well, why?" And he's like, "Because everybody is just mean and rude, and like I don't understand what's going on."
Yeah.
And he's a New Yorker, like my friend.
Right. Yeah, for a New Yorker to say that. Oh,
so
wow.
I was like, we kind of put it together, and we're like, I wonder if they're racist, or maybe who knows? Maybe they're just tired of tourists being like, "Hey, where is the Eiffel Tower?" You know, because I'd be like, look on your map, or whatever. As an example.
We're looking at Eiffel Tower, the subway map, looking, and people actually came up to us and like offered.
Yeah, there was a French guy. French guy.
And he's like, "What are you looking for?" I'm like, "Eiffel Tower." He's like, "Oh," I'm like, "Tower Eiffel."
Yeah.
He's like,
and he's like, "Oh," and then he pointed. Yeah, we're like, "Oh, sorry, we said it wrong." But he actually approached us, which we thought it was we thought it was really nice of him. When we went, we kind of had the same perception of Paris. Well, our perception was that that they just don't like tourists.
Which could be the case.
Right? Yeah, and then it was the same thing. Like just be nice, be polite, and
say hello in French.
Say hello. Yeah, try to speak your language, and they'll be nice to you. And we actually did that, and we actually didn't have any problems.
The only people get irritated is we went to this bakery by the Eiffel Tower, by the park there, because we're getting because you can do little picnics there. People do them there.
Yeah.
So we got wine and everything, and we went to go get baguette, and it was this French bakery, and it was amazing. It's so much stuff.
We just happened to walk by.
And this old French ladies running it, and they're like, and all the French people they come right up, I want that, and they go, I want this, that. Yeah. We're like, we're taking our time looking around. And they're like, "Oh, do you need anything?" I'm like, "Oh, one second." And then I was like, "Oh, you have a baguette," and they're like, after all that time, all you want is a baguette. Yeah, sorry.
But that was it. Yeah.
I did notice though that the younger people, like the people my age, they were more receptive to talking to me versus the older generation. The older generation had they didn't want anything to do with anyone. So I don't know if it's a generational thing.
It could be, because I feel like a lot of people the younger people are traveling a lot more now too, everywhere.
Yeah. I'm not bashing Paris.
Right.
Now that I've had a better experience.
Right.
I've always thought it was a beautiful city, and there's a lot to do. But that was just my experience the first time around. So.
Absolutely, yeah. So when you're choosing a place, a destination, do you normally choose something that's warmer climate, or? I know I saw the video when you were in Montreal, you're freezing your butt off, you look miserable. I'm like, why would anybody do that? But how do you choose a destination?
So the way I choose a destination, and there's two ways for me, because sometimes my partner's like, "Oh my God, let's go to X, Y, and Z," and then we're like, "Okay, well let's plan it." But the way I choose it, if I'm going by myself, is I start doing some research, and then I find the cheapest. So if the cheapest is Afghanistan, I'm like, well, then I go to Afghanistan, Well, as an example.
Yeah, right. Okay, the next cheapest.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing, do you eat a lot of street food while you're traveling around?
I love street food. And my partner doesn't.
Okay, right.
So it's that's one of our points when we clash, because I'm like, "Oh my God, street food," and he's like, "No, fancy restaurant." And I'm like, "No, street food." So
you're it's the same portion. It's just price difference.
What's the best street food you've had? Or your best maybe if you can't narrow down one dish, the best place to go for street food?
So there's a couple of places that I still want to hit. There's a couple of places in Hong Kong that have just street food and street food. I haven't actually been able to do that. I've been to Hong Kong a few times, but For now, I'll say Shanghai. There's a couple of like just little alleyways that there's people selling dumplings and like skewers.
Yeah.
So I thought it was pretty good. Although I've only been to Shanghai once, and there was this lady who I bought my dumplings and skewers, and it was like $2 or something.
Yeah.
And I was like getting ready to put it in my mouth, and this lady walked by and she goes, "You're not seriously gonna eat that?"
Like in English?
Like a tourist or a Chinese?
I think she lived there, but she was like of Indian, like Hindu descent.
Okay.
Was it beef? Is that why, or what's the?
Well, it was beef, but I was like, I took it out of my mouth and I was like, "What do you mean?" And she's like, "Last time I ate something from here, I got sick for days."
Oh my god.
And I was like, "What do you mean?"
You're like,
they rolling the dice.
Yes.
Go for it.
So she freaked me out, but I was like, I'm gonna do it anyway.
Yeah.
I already bought it, and I love street food, and
yeah. Just take a shot afterwards, you'll be fine.
that actually could work.
Yeah, no, actually, we kind of always do that, and whether it works or not, we don't know.
We're not doctors.
Because we're not doctors. But we have noticed that because we do eat a lot of street food, and we just don't, in countries we just don't drink. Like if we can drink the water, we just don't drink the water. But when it comes to street food, like we'll do it, but we'll just like have something to drink either before or after. And so far, we haven't gotten sick. And the only times that he's gotten sick, I haven't gotten sick. He's gotten sick was when he would eat something and not have anything to drink.
Like the last day there, because you're about to go to the airport and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's actually happened.
Heard
so
of that before.
yeah,
I had
so
a friend who went to Costa Rica,
I mean, so far, knock on wood.
Yeah, because we have a couple of anecdotes. We have a friend, actually a group of friends. They went to India, and they're there for weeks, and only one of the girls didn't get sick. She's an Irish girl, and I'm like, "What's your secret?" And she's like, "I drank with every meal." I'm like, "Because you knew." Like this thing, and she goes, "No, I was just on vacation." It was just purely coincidence.
Yeah.
So I was like,
yeah, exactly.
And I was like, "For 4 weeks, you just drank with every meal?" She's like, "Yeah, I was on vacation."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Breakfast?" Like, yeah. I'm like, "All right,
Yeah.
all right." And then we watched the show. We watched Departures.
Oh yeah.
The two Canadian guys traveling. They went to Mongolia, and their guide made them get a bottle of vodka. So when they drink like the fermented horse milk and stuff from the nomadic tribes, they'd have to chase it with vodka so they wouldn't get like.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, so
I've heard of that too. Actually, so that's a good point. Although you know what, my partner, he actually works down the street.
Oh, okay.
But he said his coworker, his son, like he's like a college age kind of kid, and lied to her and said he was going to his girlfriend's house and ended up going to TJ. And anyway, so he came back sick, and they took him to the hospital, and they said he had some like African parasite.
Oh god.
Yeah, TJ,
Yeah.
So
Like Giardia.
it was like a worm or something.
Oh wow.
But I don't know if it would work. Like alcohol would work with something like that.
Oh, maybe not worm. I don't know about worm.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Have you ever gotten sick from eating street food?
Or from anything while you're traveling.
I mean, as a child, I had.
Okay.
But I think if I remember, I was like really young. If I remember correctly, it's because somebody gave me so my parents are from Mexico, and I think I was visiting my family, and they gave me like non-American milk or something. So I had the milk, and I got sick.
Oh wow.
But not as an adult.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So when you travel, do you prefer to take public transportation, or do you rent a car?
I prefer public transportation.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's easier, it's cheaper. I also hate driving. So if there's, especially in other countries, like when you don't know the traffic laws or how crazy these drivers are.
Yeah.
So.
Or like when you go to a country where there's like no like street lights, you're like, oh, what do I do? Like who goes first? You know.
So I prefer public.
Yeah. Have you used Uber yet? Like in
Abroad?
Mexico? Yeah.
I did recently. Yes. Okay. Although people were telling me about, I don't know, like they're still kind of fighting the taxi laws and all that stuff. So
yeah, I feel like it's like that in every country, but we still use it.
I feel like in certain countries, it might be a little safer than, because in Mexico, like they'll have people that will rent out their taxis to other like unlicensed people. Yeah. That's when like bad things happen. At least with Uber, like oh, this person's done like 5,000 rides. That's their car. That's their face. Yeah. So I know like that's the person I'm getting. The right person's in that car taking me somewhere.
And I've heard that even from from Mexico City. Like they said that don't take taxis because if they see that you're not a Mexican or if they hear you speak English, they automatically like jack up the prices.
Oh yeah,
That's a lot of places.
Yeah, that is a lot of places. Yeah.
Have you been to Thailand?
No, not yet.
Okay. Yeah, I went to Bangkok, and that's.
Well, they do that.
I'm like, can you run? Because the meter, if you run the meter, it'd be a fraction of the price than what they quote you. And if you're at a really touristy spot, you get in and like, oh, yeah, I need to go here. Can you run the meter? Like, nope.
Really?
Yeah.
Because like, no, we'll just wait for the tourist, and we're like, we're not going to.
Yeah. Demand. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then we went through, and we just had to like haggle the price down to like a somewhat reasonable price. It was only like triple the normal fare.
But it's like the money is so like it's so cheap anyway.
Yeah,
right? So
but sometimes it's a principle. It's like, come on, like I know how much it costs to get from here to there, like, but then again, like
then it adds up too if you go because you have to taxi everywhere.
I have a friend who's she lives in New York City. She's my partner's best friend, and she like it doesn't matter if you're in New York or whatever. She loves arguing with taxi drivers, and I think it's a New Yorker thing.
I think so too. Yeah.
So if you go to, she's been to Thailand before, and she's also been to Morocco with my partner, and she will argue like, no, you're gonna lower the price, or I'm getting out, or whatever. You know?
Yeah.
And she gets them to lower the price to whatever she wants, but.
So of all your travels, what country has the friendliest people?
The friendliest people?
They felt most welcomed when you...
Maybe Barcelona. Everybody was pretty friendly there. People were really friendly in Berlin. I'll stick with those two. Yeah, because I can't...
Barcelona and Berlin?
Barcelona and Berlin.
And those are on your top 5 also?
Yeah.
See how that works.
So when you were in Barcelona, did you speak... I mean, obviously they speak Catalan, right?
They speak Catalan, like the people that are from there speak Catalan.
Okay.
But I don't speak Catalan. I speak Spanish.
Okay. So did you speak Spanish to them?
I did. I spoke Spanish to them. But the Catalonians have this weird thing where they won't speak to you in Spanish. They'll speak to you in Catalonian, you know? So if you don't speak it, they'll be like, what? You know,
yeah. Okay.
Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, aren't you in Spain? You know, but they don't consider themselves Spanish. They consider themselves separate. So, and the same thing happened to me in Berlin, where I was like looking for some place on my phone, and this lady came up to me and like, oh, what are you looking for? And I'm like, oh, such and such street, and she's like, oh, it's right around the corner. I'm like, oh, well, that's nice. You know, thank you.
Yeah, I think that's so cool when that happens.
Yeah, it is really cool because I don't know, I hate, like, I don't know, I was born and raised here, and I just feel like when people are like, oh my god, I'm gonna go to LA for my honeymoon, I'm like, oh, why?
I know, that's so, we're the same way, we're like, why? There's nothing to do here. Do you have like an embarrassing story?
I do have an embarrassing story.
Okay.
It wasn't like an embarrassing story like in public or anything like that.
Okay.
So the first time I went backpacking, I did London, Paris, and then I went to Amsterdam afterwards. And in Paris, I bought this really nice jacket, and it had all these pockets, and it was pretty cool. And so then I went to Amsterdam, and I stayed in a hostel, and then I went to a gay bar, and I met this guy, and me and this guy ended up having like fun the entire week, and we stayed together pretty much the 5 days that I was there. And I think it was like Easter weekend or something like that, and so we went bar hopping during Easter or whatever weekend that was. And every time we went to a bar, they had like these jars of like Easter egg chocolates. Okay. And so I just started like stuffing my pockets with Easter egg chocolates. And we would go to a bar, and you know, I would stuff the pockets, and we would go to the next bar, and I would stuff the pockets, and I was like full of chocolates, you know. So then I got so hammered that day. I woke up in my hostel the next morning, and my sheets were smeared with brown stuff, and I was like,
my God.
What happened last night? You know?
Oh, God.
Like it was. I had no idea, obviously, and I didn't want to, like, you know, so.
That's pretty funny.
So I was like, I'm just gonna like ball this up, throw this in the corner, and you know, the cleaning lady will deal with it. So.
Oh my God.
Just leave a good tip, huh?
That is pretty funny.